Good morning! Welcome to Natasha Race. It's always wonderful when it works.
It is. We always sort of have a bated moment, don't we? We're like, hold our breath.
But we're here.
We're here.
We're live. Good morning to you. How are you? Are you well? Are you well?
I'm well. Thank you very much. Yes.
Good.
Enjoying the sunshine. It's lovely, this glowing thing in the sky that we haven't seen for ages.
I also like that we're not coming to work in the dark.
Oh, that is
also
lovely.
makes me happy.
Yeah.
And I'd forgotten how loud the birds are at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
All right. Shh, shh, calm down, calm down. So today, Jane,
Carnival Quilt.
it is beautiful. It is an absolute stunner. This is one that I know you've been thinking about for a while.
Yes.
The bolt came in, honestly, pushed out of the way. I'm having it. And that was the last I saw of it.
Yes. And it's been brewing in my head. And I said to you, didn't I? Sometimes you design a quilt and you think, oh, I don't know if this is going to work, and you try it and you need to tweak it a bit. But this just came straight out and and it's lovely. I love it.
Exactly what you wanted.
Yeah. It's worked perfectly.
It is a beautiful blend of, well, it's a riot of colour.
Yes.
It's gorgeous and it looks like there are fireworks going off all over the place. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got movement, it's got direction, it's got everything.
It's not a difficult pattern either, which is nice.
Beginner friendly?
Yes, absolutely.
Not too big. We can get it under our domestic machines.
Yeah, I did the quilting on that on the domestic.
Beautifully, by the way, in a
Thank you.
variegated thread. Love it.
Yes.
Clever old stick this one. Should we say good morning to everybody? Let's do that very, very quickly if we can find ourselves. Right. Oh, no. Hang on. Bear with. We've got Sian and Joanne. Good morning. Good morning, ladies. Susan's here as well. Morning, lovely ladies. What a fabulous quilt. Another triumph, Jane. A triumph.
Thank you.
There we go. Just put little clappy hands as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Morning, Colette. Hello, Joe. Can't stay long. Just waiting for Tilly. Little Tilly.
Oh,
And congratulations, Joe, as well. She got married the other week.
Congratulations.
Beautiful. She's on a shopping day in somewhere Welsh, but we'll catch up later. It's the double L. It throws me.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with that?
It's a sound, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Morning, Jane. Jane V and Jane G. Good morning. And Rona. Good morning. She loves this quilt. Morning, Pam. And Elizabeth. Stunning quilt. Your hair looks pretty, Jane.
Thank you.
All voluminous.
Voluminous.
Wow.
Needs cutting, that's why.
Looks great. Body and zhuzh. Jane says, absolutely in love with this quilt. And Julia again, beautiful quilt. Judy, good morning. Good morning, Claire. Looking forward to the quilt. And going to the fair this afternoon with the boys.
Oh, that'll be fun. I love the fair.
And her bonus mum. We are bonus mums in our lives, aren't we?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And then Sandra and Leslie and Brenda. Morning. And Jenny and Sean. Morning, lovelies. The quilt. Love the quilt. Vivi much. Morning, Gillian and Lisa and Alison. Everybody's coming up. Good morning. Hello, good morning to you.
It's lovely.
So, other things to tell you about today.
Exciting things.
I wrote a list. I've got a little list.
Don't forget to say.
Moda Grunge 5 fat quarter bundle should be £19.99, £5 off. That's five. £5 off. Cited jazz hands reduced to one jazz hand, £5 off. £14.99 for 5 Moda Grunge fat quarters. It could be the Seeing Stars. It could be I'd say the plain grunge, the normal grunge.
Yes, the gorgeous grunge.
They're all gorgeous. You will get a lucky dip of those. Lots of you going for that yesterday. So I just have to tell you, when it's gone, it's gone.
Yes, we haven't got lots of it. We've only got like squiddly bits on the bolt, so it's not a huge amount.
So they are. Yeah, I'm trying very hard not to have two the same, but I can't guarantee it.
No.
Their history is we love Moda Grunge, but trying to get it has been an absolute pain.
Been coming
I
in
don't
in dribs
need.
and drabs, and you just can't organise yourself, can you? Then.
No.
And it's lovely, and we're
I've
very
got
sad.
a spreadsheet now, so I'm organised. I said no, it's a lie. I don't have a spreadsheet. Gemma has spreadsheets. I have a diary up until next June.
Yeah,
on
full
paper
tabletop.
form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about this, weren't we, yesterday? How we like to have an actual an actual thing to look at and hold.
No, I can't do the whole.
I
computer
can't
thing.
read on
No.
a computer screen.
No.
I have to print it off
It's
and
not
then read
happening
it.
for me. Not happening for me.
Terrible.
And apparently I'm weird, so we'll be weird together, and that's fine. Anyway, we digress.
I just say I'm old.
I'm not using that excuse. I'm
No,
just going
'cause you're
with
not.
weird. So we're getting organised, and if people can't get their stuff to us, then we can't sell it. It's as simple as
No,
that.
that's it.
So you can benefit, now that I've had my little whinge and my gripe, you can benefit from that, because we do love it, and we love it very much, but it's not enough to do a show, so out the door it goes. And if you would like that motor with £5 off, make the most of that saving. We love it very, very much.
It's a deal. It really is a bargain.
It is. And some of you have bought multiples, and we'll try and make them as different as we can.
Yeah.
Is what I'm going to say on that one. But I hesitate in case like there's a duplicate and someone says because it'll be Jane. So just think about that when you're griping.
Yeah, you shouted at me.
Yes, Jane. Don't be mean to Jane.
Don't shout at me.
Nobody shouts. We had the most lovely email this
We
morning.
have had a lovely one this morning.
Really
yeah.
beautiful. It nearly made me cry
Yes.
because it was so lovely. And I was like, oh, so thank you for that. Hi, Celsius. Hello. Connection issues this morning. Plus the old workus. Interruptus. No. That's not any good, is it? We don't like workers interrupters. Morning, Carol. She just loved the quilt. Quilting looks like it's been done on a long arm. No. Jane's arms.
No.
Demo of how to do it would be lovely.
We're going to have a quilting demo.
Are we?
Yeah, I think so.
Your mum's here.
Hi, Mum.
Morning, Billy. And so that's number 1 on my list. Number 2 on my list is the bamboo wadding is back in stock. We've got this at an introductory price because it's new from Vlieselina, aka Viseline, I think people used to call it.
Yeah.
But now it's Vlieselina,
Yeah.
so we're called.
Violene was the window cleaner, wasn't it, Violene? Yeah. Viselina.
Vlieselina.
Yeah.
It's got V's and L's all over the place. I mean, it's almost Welsh in my ability to actually say it. I'm not a linguist, it would be fair to say. I struggle. Bamboo, so this is 244 centimetres wide, which is rather fabulous. You're going to be able to quilt most things with that. We also have the starter cam sets. I'm just looking around for where mine is. I think they have 15 different colours if you're starting out with cam snaps for things.
It's usually there, isn't it? And
I
now
know.
It's
I've been tidying, Jane. Yeah.
been put somewhere safe.
More for me.
Somewhere so safe, we're not quite sure where it is.
But anyway, there's a massive reduction on that for you today. A couple of other things that are reduced for you or on special offers. Having said last week that we could only do the fish scars for that day, so many of you missed out and then went, ah! Including the titanium replacement blades as well, which go forever as long as you don't nick it. Then we decided to be kind. We got more stock in. It has arrived. We'll carry it on for today. These are awesome.
Yes, they're very nice.
Did you see John's face yesterday when he went with the new blade and we just went, oh, it's like cutting through butter. Yes, it is. In fact, to the extent I think he's left his here.
Yeah, we think it's his, don't we? Yeah.
We've got a rogue rotary cutter. Now, also new in today, I've been waiting for these, Jane, and waiting for these and waiting, and they are finally in. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. What is it, I ask you? No, you ask me. What? Hey, what's going on? Right. These are magic pins. I've got fine and extra fine. Why do we need these, Jane? Why? Because these are applique ones.
Yeah.
So they are super fine. They are little ones. They are fabulous. They still have the comfort grip handles. Look how tiny it's there. It's diddly tiny.
You need a close up, don't you?
Yeah, we've been waiting for these. Now the super fine and the fine, it just means there's a little bit between them. But look how tiny they are. Bearing in mind that that's your normal patchwork size. And that comes to there. And then your quilting ones, which are obviously much longer, nearly come to the end of that. So we're doing a lot of applique now.
Yes, we are.
So it just seems the right thing to have. And also I kind of want the whole set.
Yes,
Not gonna
absolutely.
lie. So we've got extra fine and we've got fine. What is the difference in it? That's 0.05 millimeters. That's 0.04 millimeters. They are, they slide in beautifully because they have been made that way. If you see what I mean, and sort of polished that way.
Yes,
so
not
they're
against the grain.
No,
as it were.
and also you can, if you're using something like Bondaweb or something like that, where you want to pin it because it's not like steamer seam, which is tacky, which is great, in which case you don't need these. But if you're using anything other than that, then these are also heat resistant. So you can apply your iron over the top, and that is absolutely perfect. So they are brand new in. As with everything, there has been a little bit of a price increase with these. I can't swallow every price increase, I'm really sorry.
It's just the way of the world, isn't
I
it?
can't do anything
It's
about it.
unfortunate, but that's how it is.
Where I can, I do.
Yes. When we get deals, we let them, we
And
pass them on, don't we?
This is a fabulous deal that we've got at the moment. So this is a 120 spool rack holder, and you get 10 spools for free, and there's 150 metres. Normally there's only 100 metres on these, but they're celebrating, Gutermann is celebrating 150 years, so they put 150 metres on their spool. Could I say that any faster if I tried?
They're nice colours as well. I was just looking at them.
Really
They're
nice.
really useful colours. Yeah.
We like a useful colour. Just realised I've moved this over a bit too far, Jane, in my tidying up. Oh yes, and the confetti backing fabrics. We like to try and find for you backing fabrics that we feel are going to work with the quilts. And these are the confetti backing fabrics. They are 108 wide, that's 270 centimetres. So why not pair it with some of the bamboo? They ombre, let me show you, because that's all I've got left of them. So I decided to put them on a special because they're going to go with this quilt.
Yes.
No matter what.
They look lovely on the back.
They are. Any of the colours.
Yeah.
These, the neutral one, I'd just be having some of that in my stash just because at some point I will do something with.
Yeah.
Actually, that William Morris one, it looked
I was
lovely on
going
the
to
back
say
of the William
look
Morris.
lovely on the
Yeah.
Morris.
And then there's a grey one there. Yeah. And then you've got graphite grey, you've got onyx.
Yeah. Natural.
That one is natural. That one is lime green. We have got indigo. We have got aubergine. We have got pink. We have got cherry, and we have got magenta. That's all I've got left. If you want to see how wide these are and how they ombre, go on then, Jane. There you go. Bigger than the screen.
Isn't that lovely?
I just took
just
strips of them.
Really lovely as a backing because it just gives a bit of movement as well.
A little
It's
bit of
nice
colour.
shading.
I heart it very, very much.
And it's got dots on it. Who doesn't love a dot?
We're dotty for dot.
I love dots.
Do you know what? I made this so big out of all the different colours that it's actually too big for the long arm quilter.
Yes.
Oh.
Doesn't fit.
Jim's like, you're going to have to cut it down. I'm like, no.
We'll make two quilts
I'll
out
make
of
a
it.
curtain or something.
Something out of it.
Let's see here. I'll sort that out later. So we've got those, and they are down to just. Are you ready for this? I didn't tell you the price, did I? Earlier?
No.
$9.99 a half metre.
Oh my gosh, that's like
I
normal
I
width.
know. For half metre,
gone mad.
108s.
Crazy.
It's not enough for a full show, Jane.
No, it needs to go.
They've had their moment. Now, what have not had their moments? Oh, do you want to say about that while I grab the half metre heavens?
We ran out of this last week. And we've managed to get a little bit more. There's not much, but there is. So for those of you that were trying to get the stripe
I'm going to show
for
that
the
one.
Salton Sea
There you go.
with the beautiful turtles and the seashells and the
Do you know what I could do? I could put it on a close-up, couldn't I, Jane?
and the seahorses.
There they are.
We've got our supplier had like a little half bolt left, so we said yes,
Managed to do a bit
please.
more.
Yeah, it's not a large amount, but there's a few for
There you
those
go.
people that missed out.
Should we look at half metre heavens now? Thank you, Jane.
Yes.
So half metre heavens. I have got 8 of these left and then it's gone. This is brand new Cave. Well, it's Philip Jacob for the Cave Facet Collective. When we did this last time as a half metre heaven, it flew and it went.
It's lovely.
And that is all I have of that fabric now. And when it's gone, it's gone. Beach bags.
Yeah.
I made one out of the other colourway for beach bags. Gorgeous. I might have got a little bit overexcited this week. So, Lewis and Irene, Heart
Peacocks.
it, VV much, with the teal there. I think that's the teal, or is it Baltic? Loving that, a huge amount. In the same range. Oh, hang on, keep that for just 1 minute, because from the same range, with the same greens in, I went with the floral and gold, but look, I put it with a hot tomato. Nice. How gorgeous do those look together? So we've done that thing whereby if you buy that one and you buy that one together and those, then that's your quilt.
Yeah.
I'm going to say done. It's not obviously you need to actually
because you need to cut it and
make
sew it, but
yeah.
your colours are sorted.
Yeah. You can buy with confidence and know that you have got something fabulous, or if you're making, you know, whatever, Jane, whatever. We know. Yeah. So there's those. Now, this is the very last of my Tilda beach shells in coral. I've got 4 of these, and that is it. But look how beautiful.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. These go live at midnight. So for those of you that are watching for the first time, firstly, good morning. How the devil are you? That's with azalea pink, by the way. And the other thing is, oh yeah, this is from the same range. The other thing to say to you is that these go live on our website at midnight tonight. This is from the same collection, so you're looking at colourways that are going to really go beautifully. Oh, yes.
Very nice.
So again, the same thing can happen. Now. We have got here, we had a bundle of panels with this gorgeous fabric. The panels have gone, they've absolutely flown, and but we had a full bolt of this, so we've got some of this fabric left.
That's such fun fabric.
Beautiful fabric, isn't it? Really gorgeous.
Nice reading cushion or a kit bag.
Yep, absolutely, all of the above.
Look at that, that's such fun.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
It's lovely.
Now, Jane.
I had to strake it because it looked like it was brushed cotton, but it isn't.
It's not, but it looks like it might be. This is Landscape Medley Multi.
This is really pretty.
I adore this. I've had this in once before, about 2 years ago. And I thought that was it. I thought I'd never get, and it went like that.
Because it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful. And a lot of people at the time asked if I could get any more. And I've not seen it since. And then, in a certain rummage, I found it.
You were like, give it to me.
I have no idea what you'll do with it. Probably a beach bag or something. That's what I'd do with it. But then I make beach bags out of everything at the moment. It's my newfound favourite thing.
If people do like landscape quilts, that's beautiful for sky. You know, you make the strips and make it look like a landscape.
Do you know what? Even a cushion.
Yeah.
Calming with a bit of lavender.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, what about having a sunny day? Because then it occurred to me that I also found this one. And we found the right white. It's actually ivory, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing, Jane, because, again,
beautiful calming cushion.
Beautiful, upside down. But how beautiful would all of that look together? The colours are just all there. I love me a good sky. If it's got Simpsons clouds in, I'm happy.
Yes.
Right.
Toy Story, that blue one. The clouds and the
beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. As is this. And again, when they are gone, they are gone. That's all I have.
Cave.
That is it. That is all of it. This is the coleus, and I've whopped it with, I want to say raspberry. I'm going to say that. Pomegranate.
Lovely.
I've got 3 of the feathers left. That's it. I've only got 3. But look, woo, look at it with the blue.
Nice.
Gorgeous, right?
Really makes the greens pop, which is...
Doesn't it?
Lovely.
I have got a little bit of the amaryllis. Jane.
That's pretty fabric.
Look. Look. Philip Jacobs. How many of you love a Philip Jacobs? I know I do.
That is so lovely.
I know.
Beautiful colourway.
That's with sky as well. Now, here's a thing, Jane, because if we keep that out, the amaryllis with the sky is rather gorgeous, right? But with this one, I went with Hawaii. Look at those blues together. Beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah, nice.
Just saying. Just saying. Yeah.
If you're doing your applique vase of flowers as well, this fabric's brilliant for that, isn't it?
Just
cutting them out.
Any of it. Yeah, absolutely. This is your luscious in grey. I've got a little bit of that actually. I do have quite a bit of that, but when it goes, it goes. That one tends to fly. This is coleus in contrast, and get ready with the aqua.
Nice. That's so pretty.
So pretty. So I've tried to keep these of a similar kind of tone so that you can mix and match and buy them through and know, absolutely know. And then the Japanese chrysanthemum there. You see, all of that's going to go.
That looks lovely, doesn't it?
Right. Yes. So they are this week's Half Metre Heavens. Fill your boots. They go live, like I say, at midnight tonight on our website, natashamakes.com. If you go on to shop categories, Half Metre Heavens, they're there. And rummage, you might find some others that you absolutely love. They are an absolute bargain. All of those $9.99 for a metre of fabric. Half a metre of each. It is. It's one of my favourite times of the week. I'm going to go and sit over there, Jane,
okay,
for the other favourite part of my week, which is you working and me sitting.
That's always good.
I know, right?
It's always good. Right, let's have a look at the kits, shall we, that we've got. We've got 2 colourways. Just move that sticker.
So you're going to demo in one.
Yeah. This is the kit that we used for the one behind us. Look at these lovely batiks. This was the fabric that started it all. It came in and I just looked at it and I was just like, I was drawn to the colours because I love those colours. Look at that, it's beautiful.
Oh, sorry, it's just changed the camera.
Stunning. Just, well, it's a cave fabric. So, you know, what can you expect? Mosaic circles, it's called. Love the colours. And so I got our salt batiks out and went through them and picked colours that I felt blended or pulled some of the colours out. And then I thought it's got to go with a black background just to pop the colours. The colours have got to pop on this because these reminded me of like fireworks, sort of like confetti, Carnival. Which is, and as I did it, it came even more like Carnival to me. So that's what started this pattern. And I wanted to use the fabric to show it off the best way. And so I think the half square triangles do that. So that's the kit for the quilt behind us. You get 1/2 metre of the feature fabric, 1.5 metres of the background, and then they're fat 1/8 of the batiks, which are actually price. More than you need.
Let's talk price on this.
Yes. You've got quite a bit of fabric there. Have you done a crazy deal on it again?
Oh no, I thought you knew how much it was.
No, I
Gemma,
don't.
How much is it?
It's a 1/2 metre on designer fabric.
So yeah, no, we know. No, I just what we've done all that is actual coin of the realm.
$29.99 for the
$29.99 for the fabric kit.
That's good
amazing.
for a quilt that size, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, the 108, Jane, 1/2 metre of the 108. Would that do the backing?
No, you'd need 1.5 metres, I think, because of the width of it.
Well,
I mean, if you wanted to join
cut it and join it.
If you wanted to cut it and join it, yeah, you'd get it out of a 1/2 metre, but nobody wants to cut and join their backing fabric. They just want to get a whole piece. You would need 1.5 metres of your standard of your 108 wide.
And then you'd have
loads left over
left
to make
then do
cushions and back another quilt, maybe a small quilt. But yeah, I like 108 because it's a pain in the neck having to join fabric together to make a backing. I really get like, oh, do I have to do this? So I love the 108 and I don't mind having all the leftover bits.
Perfect. There
Particularly
we go.
that ombre, because you can use that to make all sorts of wonderful things.
Yeah,
can't
can't you? Including the market tote bag, which is what I made with my 108s. Now that's not where you stopped, is it, Jane?
No, because
no.
I always like to do another colourway, if not 2. But I remembered we got the Moda fabric in the Jungle Paradise.
I love the Jungle Paradise.
And it was such good fun. And if you're going to do this...
Should we go a close-up on that? Then?
Yeah, if you're going to do this pattern, look at that. It's got monkeys and leopards. You don't want directional fabric.
Right.
Because you'll end up with one triangle upside down, which if you used a stripe fabric could be quite good fun because you get a lot of movement in it. But if you're using a pattern, try and choose a fabric that is non-directional.
Okay.
Because you might just send yourself mad. trying to make it all go the right way.
Okay.
And because it was jungle and quite bright and sort of childlike, maybe, I chose white to go as the background.
I like it. It just needs that stark contrast.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
I-
makes this quilt, isn't it?
Yeah.
That bright contrast.
And I love white in a quilt as well. I love white. And then I chose colours that I felt
Wow.
went with the fabric.
Yes.
Now, I was contemplating putting the pink in because there's pink in it. But then I was like, well, if people want to make this for a child, they might feel if it's got pink in it, they might not be able to give it to a boy. There'd be no reason why you couldn't give it to a boy with pink in, but I chose the turquoise instead.
There you go.
So that was my thinking behind it. This is how my mind works, you see. Just showing you a little insight into my thinking. So we've gone with sort of like really sort of juicy colours, I think they are. They're like
I think they're
opal fruits.
beautiful, really beautiful. And if you do want to put pink in, then you can always
Yeah,
send us
because
a
we've
little
got some of
message
our
and we'll swap
batiks.
them out.
Yeah, we've got our batiks, haven't we? Some
Yeah.
of them by the half metre anyway. So you can have a good rummage in the batiks as well.
And I think what this really demonstrates is how different a quilt is going to look just through fabric choices.
Yes. And this is a sort of pattern that I think that you'll have as one that you'll keep in and go to again and again
Yeah.
for baby showers and friends that maybe aren't feeling too well and just need a
Well,
quilt hug and
Do you know what?
things like that, because it's a quick make. It really
Yeah.
is a quick make.
And also think what that would look like with a Philip Jacobs floral.
Yeah. I was going to say your case will work beautifully with these.
Yes.
Well, they do, because this
They
is
do.
a cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your florals, and it's a nice way as well as having a go with working colours that go with patterns, because you can really, because they're not right next to it, you get more of a sense of the colour rather than actually matching the colours.
No, there's no reason why you couldn't pick, like our half metre heavens that we've had, there's no reason why you couldn't pick a couple of those
Yeah,
and have, and make it out of those.
yeah, absolutely.
It's-
Any of the fabrics that we've had today, you don't have to have different triangles. You could have all the same colour triangle. So you could take your half metre heavens, use the one for the large half square triangle and use the other one to do all of the same,
Yeah.
and use a background fabric.
Absolutely up to you. Don't forget that we have all of our background fabrics by the half metre. Jane, could you just pop those half metre heavens on the shelf underneath the next Monday show, please? Thank you.
Yes.
I left space for it and then forgot to actually put it in there.
There we go.
Thanks, love.
So,
Elizabeth's just admiring your sewing machine necklace.
my
by the way.
necklace. Yeah, it's a Tatty Divine necklace. My husband bought it to me for Christmas.
Oh, good man. Hello, Joy. A few more people to say hello to. Susan and Moira and Wendy. Hello.
So there's a lot of half square triangles in this, obviously, because it's all made with half square triangles. So I'm going to show you the traditional method that I use for making 2 at a time.
Okay.
And then I'm going to show you a method, particularly for the small ones, where you can make 8 in one go. And then I'll show you how to put the block together. So you need your large square. This would work well with layer cakes.
Yeah, is it 10-inch square?
Well, it's just under 10, so you could just trim it down, put your 2 squares together, do your half square triangles, and then trim it down to, it's 9.5 ultimately.
Perfect.
So you're going to draw a diagonal line from corner to corner on the backing fabric, and I always start in the middle and go out. Doesn't matter really what fabric marker you use, because you're going to ultimately cut on the line, so you don't have to worry too much about that. And then we're going to sew 1/4 inch either side of the line.
Beautiful.
And then we just pull it out, turn it round and go down the other side.
I always
Small
forget about
stitch
this.
on this because John was doing them.
Oh no, that was me. I was making ribbon lanyards this morning
Oh right.
with sausage dogs.
Haha.
I was having a lovely time.
There we go. Just lengthen the stitch.
Nothing like a bit of selfish stowing, is there?
Why not? I don't think it was selfish though, were you? We're doing something for the
For the
job.
greater good. For
the
the greater
business.
good. Yeah.
I put the iron on.
I keep losing the key. Oh, I don't know if I've have I plugged it in?
Yeah, I plugged it in
well
earlier.
done.
I just forgot to switch it on. So once we've sewn 1/4 inch either side, we're going to cut along that marked line. And then we're going to press it. And I always press underneath the coloured side of the fabric. With the black fabric it doesn't really matter, but with the white you're going to see the seam through. So if you pop the seam under the coloured side, it just doesn't show through then. And take your time pressing this because you've now got biased edges, so you know, be careful how you press. And I treated all of my fabric beforehand with the flatter spray because it always helps to stabilise the fabric, get rid of any creases, and just makes life generally easier when you're doing triangles.
Yeah, it's great to have, but especially good when you've got any kind of bias, isn't it?
So you can see there, you can create 2 at a time, and that's your large triangle. Now for the small triangles, and you need, for this quilt, you're going to need the 16, so you need 30, yeah, you need 16 of each colour. So what you'll do is you'll cut 2 lots of this for each colourway. So from your fat 8 you'll get 2 of your squares and you'll have quite a little bit left over as well. For working this out, you take your finished size of your square. For ours it's 3 inches because these are 9 inches finished, so we do 3 down. So they're 3 inches finished, you double that, which is 6 inches, and then the magic number, which you add whatever size squares you're doing, is 1 3/4. So these squares are 7 3/4.
It's so weird, and yet
it's just how it works.
Yeah.
No matter what size square you want to do, if you want to get 8 all in one go, it's that 1 3/4 number. You double the finished size and then add 1 3/4.
okay.
And we're
But
going to,
luckily, we don't have to do it, Maths, because Jane has done it for us.
it's all in the pattern and
Woo!
it's all
in the
there.
pattern, thank goodness. Well done, Jane.
So we're now on this square, on the background square. We're going to mark the diagonal through both diagonals from corner to corner. So we're making a cross in the middle. And we're going to sew 1/4 inch either side of the lines. So we're going 1/4 inch either side of that one and 1/4 inch either side of that one.
Oh, there she goes. You know, Jane, I love our little community. Got Elizabeth going, Sally, be all right. She'll be quiet. She'll wait on holiday for a week. It's all right. Don't worry. She's in her caravan. But it's just the fact that we notice.
Yes, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, like last week, Lo was a bit quiet. Actually, she's been very well behaved. Does that mean you're actually doing that work thing, Lo? Steady on.
She's having to work though, isn't she? This is the thing.
Rude. Morning, Maz. Morning, Basil. Morning, Tracy. But yeah, that is. If anybody asked me what I was most proud about, which makes this the lovely community we have.
Yeah, they're very supportive.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, so you just give it a quick yank and then go down the other side.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just, you don't need to, you know, because you're going to cut through it anyway, so you don't have to worry about cutting the thread because you'll cut it when you cut through it. Makes life easier.
Beautiful.
Is the rotating cutting mat in here?
I want to say yes, and yet I might be. Oh no, here it is.
If you've
You know
got
what?
a rotating cutting mat, these really help with this stage.
I found one on the shelf this morning, Jane. I'm hoping it's actually loaded. That
So
would also help.
we're now going to cut this into quarters. Now the measurement should be 3 7/8. You can line it up with the straight line at the top. It may be that you might want to press it because, as you can see, as I've sewn that, it's gone a bit wrinkly. But we're basically going to cut it into quarters. So we're going to cut it that way. And this is where the rotating cutting mat comes in really well, because we just rotate the mat. And that's safe cutting then. And then we're going to cut it the other way. So again, 3 7/8 through those 2 quarters. So you've got them in 4. I'm just going to pull them apart, but don't pull them apart when you're cutting them, just so that you can see that they're now in quarters.
Got it, yeah.
And then we cut them along the marked line. So, and again, rotating your mat really helps with this, because you're not cutting across yourself. If you don't have a rotating cutting mat and you've got space, you can rotate your mat, but please don't cut across yourself, because you know the chances of you cutting yourself are greater if you're cutting against your natural way of cutting with your mat. So now you can see we have created 8 half square triangles all in one go.
Yes,
and that is so much quicker. So for this quilt, as I said, you're going to need 16 of each colour. So really you do that twice and you've got all the triangles you need. Whereas if you were cutting a pair at a time, it would take you a lot longer. So that's a nice way of doing them, and it doesn't take very long. So again, we're going to press those, and I press them with the colour side on the top so that the seam is hidden underneath the coloured fabric.
Got it. Got it, got it.
And the beauty of the batiks is they give a really crisp finish when you press them. Really flat.
Yeah, they kind of feel like they've still got some of the stuff in them, some of the dye in them from where they've been made, and they might have. So if you pre-wash, put a colour catcher in.
Yes.
That's the thing with batiks. They are made in a very different way to printed fabrics, and every single inch of it is different, which is what I absolutely love.
It just gives a bit of movement to the fabric. But yeah, particularly if you're going to be using the white background, it might be an idea to wash your batiks first. But you can always colour test them by just getting a cotton bud in some water and just rubbing it on the fabric, and then if the dye comes off onto the cotton bud, you really do know then that you need to wash it, because they're not always colour fast.
And it's just that a little bit might be left behind.
Yeah.
And that's totally normal. It's just the process.
But it would be rather heartbreaking if you made your quilt and then washed it and the colours ran.
Yeah, you see, normally I don't bother washing
but
quilting
I do test if I've got a strong colour like a red or a black against a white. I do test it first just to make sure.
The other thing is simply to whack in a colour catcher.
Yes. Absolutely.
I get them on I put them in with every wash now, because invariably someone will have put something somewhere that shouldn't be.
Yes.
You know,
a red sock tucked in under something.
Yeah, absolutely. And some sort of pink unicorn sock sneaks in.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, come on. So yeah, that just goes in. Ooh, Jane.
So we've got all of the half square triangles now, and we're going to sew them together into rows. So you've got all of your colours. You'll make all your half square triangles. You'll have all your colours, and then you can make them now into 2 rows of 3. Now you have to be careful when you're doing this. So once you've got your triangles, lay them all out and decide how you want your colours to be.
And then you keep those colours in exactly the same order.
I have in mine. Yeah. You don't have to, but I have in mine. But if I show you now, if I take that row at the side and bring it down, they're actually facing a different direction.
Oh, hang on, what?
So you just have to bear that in mind when you're making it, that your triangles will be facing in a different direction. It's all in the instructions to tell you which way to put it.
Yeah.
But just remember, don't think, oh, I can sew these all together in rows of 3 and have them all going the same way. You'll create a different pattern.
Okay.
Which is fine.
It will be a design choice, Jane.
Yes.
As we know it to be.
So we're going to sew them together. I just sewed them all together in pairs and then I sewed the third one on.
This one's lovely and fresh, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really zingy, really zesty.
I like it a lot.
Now, you might like to, when you're pressing it, you might think, oh, it might want to go underneath the colour that way. But actually for this process, and you'll see why in a minute, press it the opposite way so that it sits over the white. Now what you can do is you can take your snippy scissors, and you can just snip the ear off and then that won't show through. Or when you've made all your triangles, you can take one of your square rulers and just take the ears off just by lining up the 45-degree line on your square and then just cutting the ears off there. It's just on the white, if you don't cut those off, you'll be able to see them through in the background.
Okay. And again, that could be your design choice.
Yeah,
you know.
It could add a feature to your quilt.
Sometimes I do that, Jane, just to give it like a little echo.
Yeah. Some people like it. Some people like to see the colour underneath. Other people don't, and we're all different. So I'm just finger pressing these at this point because with the batiks, they're so lovely. They do finger press quite nicely.
Okay.
So you can see there that I've just pressed that so that it goes underneath. And you can see on the back then, I can see where the seam is on those seams, and that's why I'm doing it, and it'll all become clear in a moment. So we're then going to join the other triangles in the row of 3, but obviously we're keeping them, the colour side is on the right hand side of these and the seam falling from bottom right to top left. That just makes the pattern. And you can chain piece these. If you've got all of your blocks set out, you can start chain piecing each section. Yeah. And it really is a quick quilt to make. It really goes together very quickly.
Yeah, it's one of those ones, and also at £29, it's really affordable too. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely.
For the size of the quilt, just fantastic.
You know, if you wanted to make it for a baby shower or a new arrival, then you don't need to make it as big. You could do it just 2 by 3. That's a nice, floor size, play mat size quilt.
Yeah, it could be that. And
you could make it bigger.
Yeah.
It's the sort of pattern that once you've got the block made and you can realise how it goes together.
Yeah.
It's one of those that you can make bigger, smaller, longer, thinner, all of those things.
A table runner.
Yeah.
Or a bed
runner. Bed scarf, yeah.
Bed scarf, that's what I was trying to call it. I was thinking Tootsie warmer. That's not actually a thing. Might be. Or otherwise just a cat blanket, as anything quilted in my home is apparently.
Becomes the cat's bed. Yeah.
As long as the cat's happy, we're all happy.
Yeah. So now we've got the small square, and we're going to attach that to the bottom row. As you set it out, you attach it to the bottom row there.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that will go underneath the seam there. So that goes that way. So in effect, you've got those seams. Oops.
There we go.
You can see that, but that we press the seam the way I said in the first place, because it wants to go. You're sort of pressing it opposite to the way that it wants to go, and it seems a little bit strange. But the reason I did it this way is because I've got that visual mark then of where my triangle points are. I don't know if we
Right.
can go close up on this, Tash.
We can
I'll just
always
show
go
you.
close up. Look at that.
You can see here, like the X marks the... Come a bit closer. I forget
Up, down,
that I can
up,
do
down.
that. There's like an X marks a spot there, so that I know that my seam needs to fall on that side of that X, so that it's within the seam. So just placing that back down on there. We can go overhead.
Yep.
I'm just going to snip these ears off now before I sew the seam, just so that I've got those out of the way. There we go. We're going to do it with lots of confetti everywhere. Just lining that up with those. You can pin this to the square if you wish to, but I can see now with this on the top where I need to be sure my seam falls, so that I don't lose the points of my triangles. Just makes life easier.
We like easy. That's always one to go for.
There we go. And so then I'm going to press this with the seam underneath the larger triangle, just because it sits nicer. You've got less
Right.
seams to go against.
Okay. Well, that's all good then.
And that's why I snipped those little pointy bits off, because you would have seen those underneath that way. So now when we come to attach this one to there, got the seams going that way, so that we can see the points here, and I'll press that so we've got that nice and flat. Because the colour side always goes against the background triangle on this pattern. So that side is against the pattern there. And I
Right.
pressed it that way so that when I get to the square here, I can make sure that that's nesting with that seam there. And that lines everything up beautifully.
Lovely.
And again, I'm just going to snip these points off here. Taking care not to snip into the
Snippity
seam.
snip, snippity snip.
There we go. Oop, just want to go that one. There we go. So yeah, you can pin these if you want to, and I think sometimes it stops the seams pushing themselves the opposite way when you're doing it. So just down that side and the seam underneath as well. And that just stops it flipping itself back when you're sewing. But then you know that everything's in the right place.
And off we go again.
And then it's just a straight seam just down there, and again we've got that X marks the spot so that we make sure that we don't lose the points of the triangles as we sew down it.
Beautiful. This is all going swimmingly, Jane.
Yeah, it really is a nice quick block to make, and it's so versatile because like half square triangles in themselves make so many different, I'll just give that a press, they make so many different permutations of pattern.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing with the block. You can do it in rows like I've done it, or you can have a play with the triangles and create different shapes as well. So you'll make, in effect, 16 of those for this quilt.
Nice.
You can make more or less, make different patterns. So it's a case of sewing them together in rows of 4.
Oh, Jane.
And keeping
Proper Blue Peter moment. Look at this.
keeping them
Yes.
keeping them all in the same direction. And you'd have 4 rows of 4, and you'd sew the rows together in pairs and then the pairs together in 4s.
Jane, what happens if you spin them so that...
Well, this is the beauty, isn't it, of the triangles. If you were to do that with them, you get a stripe running through it. Can you see that stripe? Because it would be like that. That gives quite an interesting effect.
But the other thing is, what happens if you do it so that all the
That's a block. I mean, that's a quilt.
And what happens if you do it the other way?
And then if you go the other way, you get that effect.
Oh, I like this.
So you can have really good fun with this quilt, with this block,
Yeah,
and make so many different variations of a quilt.
amazing.
You've got all sorts of things you can do
really
with
have.
it. You can do this with it, look.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
And that gives you another effect. There's just it's a half square. It's like half square triangles. They're just, you can keep playing with it and moving them around, and you can have all sorts of fun with them.
That is fabulous.
But those colours are lovely together, don't they?
Yeah.
Really zesty.
Very special.
Yeah.
I'm liking that a lot. And with the little monkeys in.
Yeah, love the little monkeys. So that's it, basically.
That's it.
That is the quilt. Layer it up, quilt it.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes, we do more complex. Sometimes we do easier. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about in terms of how you did the quilting? I mean, is there any tip on doing the whirly, whirly, squirely, whirly, whirly?
I spent a lot of time drawing it out first on paper with a pencil, just to get the movement of it in my head. And then I made a basic quilt sandwich, just 2 couples of pieces of calico with a bit of wadding. Practiced on there a bit first before I actually then took a very deep breath and went for it on my quilt.
Do you know what? I often think this, that because we always have deadlines, we always have time limits, those quilts that have a little bit of something like this in it, where we have to take a deep breath, big girl pants on and crack on. Yeah. It's one of those things that otherwise might sit there. So Jane, I salute you for putting those big girl pants on and doing that.
And I think the thing is, when you start, because and I used to be like this when I first started free motion quilting, I felt like I couldn't stop. Once I started, I felt like I've got to keep going. Yeah. And at some point you come to the edge, or you come to a point where your quilt's all like rooked up and you're all in a mess. You can stop. You can stop, you can breathe, you can rearrange your quilt and then go again. Yeah. And I think that was one of the biggest things that sort of was like a revelation to me, was like, I can stop.
And also, if your machine has the tortoise and hare, make the most of that.
Yes. I go a little bit faster than I would so normally when I'm doing my free motion. Just helps a little bit.
Gemma always calls me bish bash bosh, Tash, and but this is where for me, I have to just slow it down, because otherwise I run away with it. Pam says, I love this, it's magical. How different they both look. Well, don't they? That's the thing.
This
and also then how you spin them around as well.
You can have really good fun with rearranging the patterns and everything.
And that's a perfect lap quilt size, just the 4 blocks.
Yeah, absolutely. Or a big floor cushion for a little one.
Oh, nice. I think that little William Walter might like one of those, Jane. Just
saying.
Just saying.
Yeah, but that's with the block upside down, in effect, if you like, from the way I've done it.
Oh,
with the triangles going the other way.
Yeah. Brilliant. Sue says, hello, Jane and Tash. I'm just wowed by the options on the quilt. And she's also lovely to see you on Sunday.
Yes, I met Sue on Sunday, and I met another lovely lady, Jan, and her lovely husband, who said to me, you look taller in real life. I said, yeah, that's because I stand next to Tash. She makes everybody look small.
Hey, it's part giant. We know this.
Yeah. It was lovely. I met some really lovely people at Malvern at the weekend on Sunday. I was just there, mooching, having a look at the lovely quilts and buying lots of things I didn't really need. It was lovely, and quite a few people came up and said hi, which was really nice. I always like it when people say hi.
I completely forgot it was on. Yeah. I went off to meet my lovely little nephew.
Yeah, well, cuddles with him are just as good.
Very special cuddles with him, because it's been so long. And do you know what? Because I said to him, he's tiny, like my brother. So isn't he tiny? He said he's gone past his birth weight and he's doing it because he's 9 weeks old. Yeah. And then he said, we think he's quite big. And then I realised that the weight that he is at 9 weeks is what Emily came out at. So not only am I giant, but I also breed giants.
Babies.
Yes. Gemma has just poked her head round the door. What can we do for you,
I
Gemma?
have a question
Oh, a
about
question.
where you would start with the quilt.
Oh, good question.
Yeah, because
Oh, that's
quite
Barbara.
quite
Hello,
often
Barbara.
with quilting, people say start in the middle and work your way out. When you do free motion, it's always a good idea to start at a corner and work your way down, or start at one side and work your way across. As long as you carry on in the same, I say the same direction, but don't start up here and do a bit and then go down there and do a bit, because you'll probably find you get it rocked up in the middle. But just carry on. And I started in the corner and sort of worked my way across in a diagonal fashion with this one, but sort of just meandered across and let it take me where it wanted, really. And again, it was quite a quick way of getting it quilted. Because originally I did think I might just do it straight diagonal lines, sort of the width of that, and I did think I might do parallel.
Ooh.
But that would have taken me actually longer than it did to do this
Wiggly,
loopy
wiggly, wiggly,
loopy.
wiggly.
Because it's loopy and there's no sort of like standard pattern to it, nobody's going to notice. I mean, if you look up it really closely, some of them are a little bit square,
Doesn't matter.
and there's some straight bits and stuff, but the effect is there and it's finished,
And it's finished.
which is the main thing, because we all know that a
finished.
finished quilt is better than a perfect one.
Yay!
Yeah, and I bound it in the same colour as I'd used for the backing. Now maybe for the white one you'd want to use a colour binding, because white binding really is not the best option
Yeah,
for it.
no, I would definitely.
But the kit includes enough fabric for the binding,
Okay.
which we have put white in, of course.
Sue says, I'm usually quite shy and I don't have a clue what to say. She says she gets starstruck. But Jane was very kind and sweet. And yes, she is taller than you think.
He only this big on the television.
That's just it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
like
is.
Mike TV,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
is,
In,
yeah.
in
Yeah.
Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. No prizes for guessing which author we're making our way through at the moment.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes. Oh, well, Jane, thank you so much. Guys, please do make the most of the confetti ridiculous offer that we've got on. When
you
it's
wanna get
gone,
that.
it's gone. It's just like I say, we've got bits left. We had the whole collection of all the colours and we haven't anymore. So just make the most of what we've got. When it's gone, it's gone.
They're
I'm not
beautiful.
getting it back in. It took ages to come in anyway. And also make the most if you want any more of the shells stripy fabric that we had from last week. And if you, just keep in touch with us. You know, we're here. Let us know. And Jane's doing a lot of the customer service queries, questions, lovely emails, all
Trying
that
to
kind
help
of stuff.
out the best I can.
Yeah, it just made sense because, you know, Jane knows everything that's going on. So there we go.
Nearly everything.
Sylv, I love you. She says, Jane's not small, she's just far away.
Brilliant.
You will appreciate that.
Yeah.
She'll appreciate that a lot. She's having her car MOT'd at the moment, but when she's back in, we'll share that with
Yeah.
her. Morning, Debbie. So, right, that is everything for this morning. Make the most of those deals. Make the most of the spool holder. The Half Meter Heavens go live tonight. On Monday, Jane, on Monday, we will be looking at those pouches, top right-hand side of the screen.
Show one close up.
Yeah. I've got some beautiful zips, which kind of inspired these. Do you want to do on a closer to close?
Close to close one.
Look at those. Yeah, the zips were just fabulous. So they came in, I was like, I need to do something.
They're just so
about
clever
this.
because the little bit of leather that you can see there is integral to the zip. So actually you're fixing your zip on with that. So there's no like faffing around trying to get the zip to work.
No faffing.
Look, it's got this lovely little end on the zip and everything. It's all together in one.
And you can make
Beautiful.
Well, these came out of fat quarters. You can make more out of the fat quarters. It's a really, really, really quick, simple make.
It's a lovely set to have.
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks professional, which is what it is.
Yeah. So we've got those on the show, but that's not all that we've got on the show on Monday, Jane.
No,
Because
what
that'll
else have
take
you
me
got?
about 2 minutes to make, and that'll be it. And then we'll be twiddling our thumbs. So they will be in kits with the zip.
Yeah.
And instructions, blah blah. But also we have got some gorgeous new fabrics which have come in, florals and paisleys, just gonna say, and we're gonna have those on Monday.
Beautiful.
And we're gonna make a Lisa Chandler bag.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll enjoy that. It's a gorgeous bag.
That's the one. So that's what we're going to be doing. So look, everyone, take care. Have a lovely rest of the week. And we will catch you, on Monday. So take care. Have a great time. Have a lovely weekend.
Enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.